Alright, welcome to day 44 of our journey to Platinum here in Elden Ring. At the end of yesterday, we made it over here to Liurnia Highway North. I'm going to go back to South because we conquered the Cliff Bottom Catacombs, but I kind of skipped over some stuff over at Highway South. So we're going to start back there again, and I'm going to work my way through a couple of these little areas that I missed yesterday. I think that for the most part, so this leads back over towards the end of the bridge, or the end of the highway, I guess, and then this I kind of went through. I'm going to quickly kill these marionette dolls again, though, before, oh my goodness, holy crap. Before I move on, I'm going to kill these guys, and we'll work our way over, further down the path, and I want to get over all the way to the next grace where I just was, and then probably work my way further up rather than down, because we've got the section down where I just was that leads over towards the Academy Gatefront town. And I don't want to go down there quite yet. I want to do some of the stuff further up first, because so I want to work my way through all of this, get over to here, and then there's this sort of dip down here that leads into all of this. And like I said, this leads down to the gate front, or the gate town, but I want to go up this way first, I think. And I think that right here there's a Tibia Mariner boss, so maybe the goal for today will be to wrap up everything in this upper portion all the way to here. And then this, actually, I just remembered, leads up to here. And then we've got a minor Erdtree. There's so much still to do. So much still to do just in Liurnia. And the game as a whole, I still feel like we barely made a dent. So again, in this series, we're going completely thorough, obsessively so, grabbing every single item in the environment, grabbing all of the crafting materials, and literally going to an obsessive length of exploration for this playthrough. And we're going to do that all the way through to the end of the game, and then we're going to hop into the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC and do the same thing there. So that's what's happening for those of you that are new. For those of you that have been following along with the series, thanks so much for being a part of it. And we're gonna do some obsessive exploration again today. This is quite the band of whoa, wow, holy crap. I always know that you got to be careful with those because of the way that they just like flip, or they just flip out. This is another one of the new load screens. We may have seen that yesterday. I don't remember if we saw that one or not. But they always just flip out. It's ridiculous. And I always know that that's going to be the case. Yet, half the time, I don't know. I guess I think I can tank it or something. And then I quickly realize that's not the case. You cannot tank those guys. There's only 3 of them right here. That one has like 5 of them. Get out. Why can I, like, the stagger is what's freaking annoying. Like, the way that they just stagger train you, especially when there's more than one standing there, and you're just screwed. Like, there's no way to get out of the stagger that's going on with them. It's ridiculous. So, as I've talked about a couple times in the past few episodes, because of the way that we're going obsessive with checking absolutely everything, one thing, because I've hit the point where I have so much Roa on me, I think at times I'm just going to skip over Roa. I probably should have been doing that all along, but I've got so much Roa that I've actually hit the point where I can't collect any more. At one point that's where I hit, but then I crafted the stuff for Torrent, and it used up a whole bunch of my Roa, and now I can actually collect again. But I'm thinking that it's probably a good idea to just skip over some of it. I wonder, you know what I should try real fast is... Oh, I don't actually... Okay, wait. Actually, let's try this. I want to see what this does to them. Oh, that actually does pretty decent damage, I guess. It's not bad. Frick. I'm gonna end up doing the same thing again with these guys. I think I can stagger them pretty well. So one at a time is not a big deal at all, but it's when you get yourself stuck when they're doing that. When they're doing flaily arms and they're all standing there at once. That's when you're screwed. And the ones with the bows, I mean, with the way that they fling around like that, that's also difficult to deal with. But as you can see, if you just kind of circle around them, it seems like it's somewhat easy to avoid what they're doing. But the ones with the melee weapons, those are a lot more difficult to just get out of the way. It just doesn't really work like that. And let's see. So this is the path that leads up. Let's, I think I'm going to stick on this side of the path for a couple of minutes here and kind of clear out this side. Wait, yeah, because... So we've got some ruins here, and I want to get down to the... We've just got, like, these ruins, but then I also want to get over to the Purified ruins as well. There's also more marionettes patrolling there. And I think I'll use this piece of ruins as sort of my delineation, my barrier for now. We won't go any farther past that on this part of the path, and I'll work my way down, and then we'll come back up and do this other section, the other side of the path. So that side's technically, that's the east side of the path, so we're on the west side of the path right now. So this is going to be objective number 1, is the west side of Liurnia Highway, and we'll clear all this out. So, yeah, just as I've been looking at the map and all that's left to do, I know how extensive the game is. I know how massive it is. I've played through it extensively. But just as I've been looking at the fact that we're 44 days in and going through everything in such a detailed way, I feel like this playthrough is going to last forever. The game is just so massive. I mean, spending this much time going through most other games in this detailed of a way, some games we could have totally finished and been at 100% by this point. But this game is so extensive and massive that it just doesn't work that way. There's just still so much to do. And for those of you that have played through the game before, I'm sure that you've got that idea of how much left there is to do. And really, we could start just going a little less thorough, but I think the thing that I keep thinking is... Oh, this is all stuff that I've been to, because this is this lower portion. I think the thing that I keep thinking is... I don't want to make it this far into the playthrough being this thorough, and then just stop being thorough. That feels kind of silly. So I don't really want to do that just in the name of getting the playthrough done faster. But for those of you who haven't played through the game, you've got no idea how much there is left, and I encourage you to play through the game yourself, because this is definitely my favorite game of all time. I love all Souls games, and probably favorite game 2 and 3, 4 and 5 are probably also all Souls games, but this to me beats out everything. I just love it so much. So down here, this gets back to the edge of the lake. So I'm not gonna go back in here. I've killed that lobster over and over and over again. So I'm just gonna let him breathe this time around. No reason to kill him again. So let's work our way into these ruins. I think all of this here, like this whole area in this valley, I think this is all technically the Purified ruins. Even though, where's the symbol sit? Yeah, so it kind of sits in the middle here. So, and I think even where Hyetta is, I think that might still technically be part of these ruins. Just kind of this whole valley. So this is a relatively large section of ruins, probably one of the larger sections in the game. I feel like usually they're a bit more... I feel like usually they're a bit more confined than this. Alright, so I've kind of done the outskirts. Let me work my way into the inner portion of these ruins. And, oh frick, I totally should have come and killed him first. I didn't know that he had a horn on him. There's a lot of stuff around here, though. I'm going to actually just walk out of here real fast. And kind of let some of them follow me, because I don't want to fight all this at once. Wow, how did I hit? I swung to the other side of Torrent and somehow hit him. Can you put your shield down? Like, stop with the shield, man. I'm not using a shield, so you shouldn't be using a shield. Let's play this fair. Crap, crap, crap. Okay, stand up, please. Stand up, roll, roll. My goodness. He's gonna throw cuckoo glintstone at me. I think it's kind of funny that it's called that there's like the whole, it's like a whole race of people or something called the Cuckoo. I think when I first played through the game, until I heard one of the NPCs actually pronounce it, that is not what I thought it was. I didn't realize it was actually Cuckoo. And I think it's because I didn't know that that's how you spelled cuckoo. Rhea Lucarian Helm, is that any good? Is that something that I would possibly want to consider? No, definitely not. Like I said yesterday, I'm thinking that probably I'll end up sticking with this imp head throughout most of the playthrough. I like this imp head a lot, and it gives some good benefits. So I think that sticking with this imp head will probably be my best bet for a long time, unless I just find something really good and decide that it's better. But I think inside of this little church here, I think that we're probably all good. I saw a drop down, though, that I'm gonna need to go grab items at. And I also saw this guy. Where is this guy? There he is. Just chilling out here. You were promptly dead, sir. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Oh, and he was the last one. I got my flask back. Golden Rune 3. And there was something about... What was I going to say? There was something about something I was talking about a second ago. And I totally lost my train of thought. So it probably wasn't that important. And did I talk to this guy yet? I don't think I listened to what he had to say yet. Come out, one and all, from the darkness underground, and let us offer unto the maiden our eyes. So this is the point in the game where you get a little more involved with the idea of maidens and being maidenless and things like that. That's why Lightseeker Hyetta has started to show up, and he's talking about that guy there's talking about giving maidens your eyes, and specifically her. That's another whole piece of lore that I don't fully understand. Most of my understandings of lore, and all the lore that I've talked about throughout this playthrough, most of my understanding of lore is from item descriptions, which I know, from item descriptions, cutscenes, and stuff, and I know that's the case for anyone that plays the game. That's just how the lore works. But I say that to say I haven't watched a ton of lore videos that like really explain things in depth. I've talked before about how I love watching Vati Vidya. He's got some really good lore videos, but I haven't watched his stuff on Elden Ring that extensively. So there's a lot of pieces of lore that I don't really know about, and one of those is stuff with the maidens. I don't totally understand how everything with the maidens work, I guess, and just the lore surrounding them, and what it ultimately means to be maidenless, and the importance of that. But I do know that this is sort of the area where that becomes a bit more prevalent of a topic in the story, and continuing to interact with Lightseeker Hyetta eventually will push us towards one of the endings. And like I've talked about, my goal is to make it through, is to actually trigger all 6 endings throughout this playthrough. I want to see all of them, because at this point I've only seen one ending, and that was Ronnie's ending. So I haven't seen any of the other ones yet. And so I want to trigger all 6 endings, and one of them is, I believe, the Lord of Frenzied Flame ending. And I think that one is the one that surrounds Hyetta. So we've got to continue to interact with her to open that one up. Still Roa sitting over here. All right, so this whole side, I think, is pretty much good. I would say, because this is a whole other like path that leads up through the middle of the ruins. So the last thing I want to check here is, I guess, some of this stuff that actually hits the top of this hill. And then this is pretty much back to where we started the episode. Because there's this, where's that Grace? Oh yeah, hidden right behind here. Alright, so now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to work my way down the other side of this section into the other part of the ruins. And Hyetta is hanging out at the bottom of the ruins. But the thing is, I don't think that I have any more Shabriri grapes for her. And I looked at this yesterday, right? Southward March. Yeah, we read that yesterday. Alright. So this is all good, and actually before going down into the other half of the ruins, let's do this. I'm going to go through the other half of the path up here, on kind of like the east side of the highway. And actually, though, ooh, and there's a glowing skull there. Actually, I haven't gone through this part of the, I keep forgetting, the west side of the path, because there's some of this stuff here too, these ruins here. So I got to go through this, and then we'll jump over to the east side of the path, and then I'll head down and do the remainder of the Purified ruins. Look at all the, there's so many glowing skulls around. Now that's another part of the obsessive checking. I've gotta grab all of the glowing skulls, or else we're not really checking everything now, are we? That's how this works. So we've got Ray Lucaria over there. We've got that church up there. I just like to get an idea of kind of what we can see. So this part of the ruins is done. That whole side is not, though, on that side of that little valley. So we still got to check all that. And then I know in this section here, there's some dogs, and then also some of those guys. Those guys with the torches hanging out. So let's go. I'm gonna go give them a piece of my mind real fast. See what they have to say about this whole situation going on in the land. They don't even realize that they're being killed by a future Elden Lord, because they probably think that I, Zalora Anastasia, am just another random tarnished that is attempting to cleanse this land, and that I'm just going to end up giving up and eventually not going to be able to see... Get out of there, get out of there. Eventually not going to be able to see the guidance of grace anymore. But they are sorely mistaken, because my vision of the guidance of grace is still very, very clear. I can still see it very clearly. And an Elden Lord status is on the way. 6 different times Elden Lord status is on the way. I'm going to get the ending 6 times. And I think, so, something that I know people have kind of done with their playthroughs to be able to achieve all 6 endings is, and again, I haven't seen any more than one ending, but I've heard people talk about the way that they did it so that you don't have to play through 6 times, basically. I think that there's an option to essentially just put your save in the cloud, and then you just sort of revert your save back each time you get an ending. And I think essentially that's probably what I'm going to end up doing, because with going through the game this thorough and everything, I'm not going to do this 6 times. So probably what we'll do is, once I get to the point where I've got to choose an ending, I'll just throw the save into the cloud, and then we'll just kind of revert towards the end of the playthrough to make sure that we get all 6 without having to play through multiple times. So that'll probably be the plan. I think when you're playing on PC, that's a little bit easier, because of the fact that on PC it's easier to kind of just create multiple saves, and you can't. I kind of wish that you could just copy your save on console, because I think that would make it a little easier than just throwing it in the cloud and then reverting and things like that. But I guess I think probably FromSoft's thought process is they don't necessarily want you to be able to do that super easily. So there's kind of that whole extra hurdle would be my guess. I don't know, but that's probably gonna be the plan. But that's a distant thought. It's not something that I'm gonna have to do anytime soon, because we still have so much until I even have to think about an ending. All right, so let me go. I guess let's go check up on top of this. I think a couple of these ruins have some items on top, and we can't miss them. Looks like there's nothing on this. So this gives us a view of everything I've already gone through back this way. And yeah, it looks like there's actually nothing on this section of ruins. I wonder about that one, though. I'm going to go check that one real fast, too. And the thing is, with most of these ruins, I mean, just about all of them you can get on top, but just not all of them actually have any reason to go on top. Look, there's a glowing skull hanging out here, though. I wonder, I think I already checked through all of these bushes pretty well, right? So I don't think that there's anything else that I've missed in there. So all along here is good. Let me check kind of through this little dense section. Another, oh, a ruin fragment. I hadn't checked there yet. And then what about, though, these ruins? Did I go on top of this one? Oh, yeah, actually, I already went on top of this one. Okay, so it's probably just this one over here, then, that I still have to check on top of. So we'll check this, and then there should be just a little bit of open landscape over here, and I'll work my way up to that Grace, and then we'll go down into the other side of those Purified ruins and check that out. Like I said, I'd like today, I don't know if we're going to have time, but I'd like to work my way further up this upper portion of the stretch of highway, rather than going down back towards the lake. I want to work through this upper portion, and I'd like to make it all the way over to that Tibia Mariner, but I don't know that that's necessarily going to happen, because there is a good amount of stuff between me and him right now, I would say. So it's going to be a little bit of a process getting over there. All right, so yeah, everything on that side of the path is done. So now we're working through this eastern side of the path. Just being thorough, just being real thorough. Checking absolutely everything. It's all part of the game plan, and everything down there. That's where I went yesterday. That leads down to the cliff bottom catacombs. And that is fully conquered. That's totally 100% done. And so is the path that leads down to it. I went through and checked all of that extensively yesterday. So that whole section's done. And once all of this is done, then that'll mean that most of the... I think that all of this is technically... I don't know if this is... If this split off here is part of the highway, or if this is also considered part of the highway. I think both technically are. So there's kind of a couple different ways to go with the highway, obviously. So like I was saying, there's no way we're going to get through all of the highway today, but we might be able to get through a good chunk of it. And then, yeah, like I said, what I want to do here is I want to check all this landscape, all this open stuff here that gets over to that Grace before going down towards the rest of those ruins. And there's still stuff that, like I've talked about all through this series, there's still stuff that I'm super excited to get to because of the fact that there's so much that I don't remember as I've been playing through the game, because of the fact that it's just so extensive and there's so much to do, that there's pieces that I've really only ever played through once. So because I walked through a certain environment once and then was kind of done and would move on, it means that there's a lot that I just don't even remember. So the main thing that I keep thinking about is I'm really excited to get back to the capital, because the capital to me is such a pretty area. It's so much fun to play through there, and it's absolutely massive is the thing. It's sort of like Stormvale Castle on steroids. And so it's a lot of fun to work your way through that area. And because of the fact that it's not even within the capital, you've of course got the castle itself. But on top of that, you've got so much stuff surrounding it to check too. That's what makes it a lot of fun, because kind of in my mind, when you've got I always forget the name of the castle. Hang on, it's way down here. What is this? Castle Morn. So you've got Castle Morn, and that's sort of the first castle that you hit. And that's pretty, I mean, that's a super cool castle. It's like the first really large dungeon, I would say, that you encounter. But then you get to Stormvale Castle, and you're like, holy crap, like this is the type of dungeon that this game has to offer. And then you get up towards the capital, and you're like, wow, this is absolutely insane. So I'm super excited to get up towards the castle, and we're really not that far from it. That's sort of the next area, but most likely I will go through Mount Gelmer first. Go through everything relating to Volcano Manor before going to the capital. And so this is getting... So where are we compared to... Yeah, so I'm a little past the Grace, so let me work my way back this way, I guess. I'll use this rock now as my delineation, and I think all of this stuff is kind of just open. There's probably not much else to check here. But I want to work my way, I think, down towards the other side of those Purified ruins now, since I've made it all the way up to sort of this edge here where the Grace is. And this, I already talked to that guy. He talks about the dolls, or the dolls, the marionettes, and how they began to take over, how they began to fight and conquer, and whatever the lore is surrounding them. Okay, so all that's good, all the way up to where that like gatekeeper, or the catacomb keeper is at. Checked everything up to there. This should all be good, and this leads us kind of back towards the stuff that we already checked too. Sweet. All right, so this should all be good on this side then, all the way up to that rock. Sweet. So let me work my way down into these Purified ruins. And there's a whole like battle going on over here with all these guys. So that'll be fun to go stick my neck in the middle of that. But like I said, I don't think I'm going to do that today. I think I'm going to go up the other side of the path leading towards where Mr. Tibia is at and see what he's got to say. Wait, so hang on. So this... Where is the... So this is the side... Yeah, okay. With the fog, I'm having a hard time telling. So that's the side I've already been at. So this is the side that I want to check now. And, Charles, what are you hearing, buddy? Alright, I moved my whole studio upstairs yesterday. So it's making it a little nicer. Charles, he doesn't hear as many things now, so he doesn't bark quite as much. But he must have heard something from outside just now. It's kind of nice having everything up here. There's a separate room that I have that he can go in and look out the window, so he can just bark from there. You'll probably still hear him though. Okay, wait. So this section leads up, and that leads over to, I think there's a, yeah, I can kind of see it on the map here. There's like a tower there, so I'm not gonna go up there quite yet. Look at all these guys just fighting over here. Wait, what are the blue? I don't think I realized that those guys were blue. Interesting. So yeah, let me just work my way down along this edge here. I don't really want to go up yet. I think that'll all be stuff that I do whenever we decide to go down and get in the middle of the battle that's going on, and I'll go up that path towards the tower that day. First, let's work through all this stuff along the edge and see if there's anything useful here. I recall that there's not really anything over on this side. Yeah, because then this just sort of hits the edge. And most of this stuff out here, I've finished. So I know that everything back here is done. All of this is done. Over to here. We've made it all the way kind of to this folly on the lake, Grace. This stuff is done. Up to Fallen Ruins. The Rose Church Island has been done. So mostly this stuff back here is what I've got to check. And then up towards Raya Lucaria in terms of the lake. So that's why I made the decision to come up here on the land, because then we can sort of get through the portion of land that corresponds to that part of the lake, and then I know that I'm sort of the same distance north on land as I am in the water. And then exploration of both areas is sort of neck and neck. Oh, there's a transport gate over there. I didn't know that there was one there. Guess we'll check that out in a couple of minutes. I'll check that. That'll probably be the last thing I do here. That way I can clear everything in the ruins. Then we can take the transport gate. See where that leads. I actually have no idea where that one leads. I didn't even know that there was one here. And I feel like there's a decent amount of transport gates throughout the game, and it's always kind of funny to me when you take one and it takes you like sometimes a few hundred feet north of wherever you're at, and that's how it was down in Siofra, which is kind of funny. There's a whole section that you take it, and you end up just a little bit north, and it's like, great, thanks so much. I could have used my feet for that. All right, so then everything on these outskirts, on this edge, I think is good, including all of the bushes. So I'm going to make my way down towards the front, and we'll work our way into the ruins from the front. And I think this section of land, I probably looked at this the other day when I was down here, I believe. Because isn't this... Yeah, this is leading over towards this whole section. Yeah, all right, so this is done. I definitely checked this. So let's head into this side of the Purified ruins. And I want to talk to Hyetta again real fast, just to be sure that I don't have any Shabriri grapes on me, but I'm 99% sure that I don't. Is she still? Yeah, she's still standing right here. What's up, girl?
Hello? Would you donate?
Let me see if it's going to give me the option. No, I still don't. I don't know that you even... I might not even be able to find any more Shabriri grapes until I get up to... I think it's like way up here. That might be the next time I can even grab them. Because I know there's like a whole area there where there's like Shabriri people losing their minds, frenzying and stuff. So I think that might be the next time that I can get any. I'm sure that there's probably another spot, maybe depending on the direction that I take things. But that's the next spot that I remember. So once I get some stuff, I'll have to come back and talk to her and donate her some eyeballs so that she can feel the light in the back of her eyes. Alright, so for this part of exploring, I'll use the path here right up through the Purified ruins. I'll use that as my delineation, because everything on that side has been checked now. I'm just gonna check through. I don't know if there's an area to go down in these ruins. Usually there is, because I feel like I haven't really, with everything on the other side of the path in these ruins, I don't think I really found much, did I? I mean, I found that Golden Rune 3, and then I found... I mean, there's the transport gate, but there's got to be a way down into, like, a cellar somewhere in these ruins for items or something like that, I would think, because there hasn't really been anything too special in here so far. This is, so sometimes I start to frustrate myself as I'm trying to check through. Oh, I just noticed that you can see that head just sitting up there. That looks massive even from here. Holy crap. I sometimes frustrate myself when I'm trying to check everything thoroughly, because when I notice that there's something still in a bush that I didn't check, I go to spin around and then I start getting myself stuck in the trees and stuff. And then I get all annoyed. Get all annoyed at inanimate objects. That's kind of a step up. That's a step up of getting frustrated. Getting frustrated at an inanimate object in a game. Like, you know how sometimes if you're... Like, let's say you go to open a cabinet or something. Or better yet, you go to walk through a door and you accidentally kick the door and you stub your toe on it. And then you're all pissed at the object, like it did something. It's a whole step up from that, getting frustrated when you're walking through a game and you get stuck on a tree. And you get frustrated with the tree. That's called pettiness right there, or anger issues or something. Whatever you want to call it. So what is this? What do you got for me? 5 mushrooms. Can cook up some real nice craftable items with that. Man, these glowing skulls just keep on spawning. So many of them. And I can't leave them behind. It's just like no glowing skull left behind is the whole thought process. You're no item whatsoever left behind is really the thought process. Okay, so everything up here is good. I checked all that. So here's where the transport gate is. Like I said, I don't want to go into that quite yet. I want to finish all this first. Check through all of this stuff. Another glowing skull. I wonder how many I've got on me right now. It's got to be a lot. There's Roa over here too. Are there any items in here with this transport gate though? Doesn't look like it. So let's go up to this last section. There's this last little broken down area here. So let me check this out and see if there's anything here. I guess not. This is just a tiny little spot with nothing really in it. So yeah, I guess there's not a way down anywhere in these ruins. I'm kind of surprised. All right, so I guess let me just look here. So this hits all the way up to where this grace is at. And then this is the way down to the battle, and then I guess we'll head up there next, but let me go check this transport gate first and see where this takes me. I always like to try to guess if I remember where each transport gate will lead you, and I think that this one might lead me... I think this might drop me in a tower up. It might actually be up towards where those Shabriri grapes are that I was talking about. Let me see if I'm right. I can't really remember where this one will take me. Oh, this one does exactly the same thing as the one from a couple episodes ago. Literally just takes me to the entrance to Rey Lucaria. Okay. I don't really care about that right now then. So let's go back to Liurnia Highway North. And I'm going to work my way up through the upper section towards Tibia. And I'm going to rest real fast. Maybe get it to stop raining. Wait, and actually how many? I only have 8,300 runes on me right now. So, not many at all. And did it stop? It stopped raining. Sweet. Like I've mentioned, I like it so much more when it's not raining. Because I don't like how thick the fog gets. Because the area just looks so much prettier when it's not raining, and it's so much easier to see everything, and so much easier to tell what you've gone through and what you haven't. Because you can kind of just see things far off. And also, I think there's one of those big golems wakes up down there too. So you finish fighting all the little guys, and then the golem wakes up. Or you don't finish fighting all the little guys. You walk past the golem, and then you're fighting the golem and the little guys all at once, which is ill-advised for sure. So this way further up the highway, so just so you know where we're going. So we've got this little section of ruins, we've got this section of woods, and then I think this section of woods here is actually where Tibia's at, though. And then this leads into the Divine Tower of Limgrave, or Liurnia. I always do that. Let's call it Limgrave. So we will not be going into the Divine Tower necessarily anytime soon. I mean, I can go in there, but the problem is there's not really going to be all that much to do, because for one, I think I need to get, is it Renala's? I think it's Renala's Great Rune that activates Liurnia's Divine Tower. But then also, I think, from what I remember, there's a whole separate key item that actually really activates it, because it like flips the whole tower upside down, from what I remember. So you got to get both, really, because I think even after you have Renala's Great Rune, it's like, okay, yeah, if you could get all the way to the end of the tower, you could activate that and actually activate her rune at the 2 fingers that are up there. But there's no reason to even go up there until you have that key item, because you can't flip the tower over. And I remember in my first playthrough, I didn't know that, so it took me forever to eventually figure out how to utilize that Divine Tower. I think I made it near the end of the game, and I kept going back, going, okay, like something's gotta give eventually. There's gonna be something that activates this. And it took forever until I finally figured out how it worked. Okay, so all of that back there is good. I know we've got some wolf friends hanging out here. Why is he standing on the edge like that? What are you standing like that for, bro? I can kill these in one hit, just boop them on the nose. I don't think there's any... Yeah, I think it's just the 3 of them hanging out right here. There's one of the... Oh, this is who I was thinking of. I thought there was one of these white wolves. Oh, there's 2 of them. You can just jump off the edge if you want. I'm not gonna complain about it. I don't think it would even kill them, though, jumping off the edge. I don't think it's far enough. So actually stay up here, because it'll be easier for me to get you. Or you can just take us both down at once. Works, too. Gotcha. Oh, you know what? I should have drank my flask, because I probably would have gotten one back for killing all of them. What is the item up here, though? Beast Blood. I feel like Beast Blood is relatively rare. I feel like it's something that's a little bit hard to come by. Unless you just find it in the environment like that on a corpse, or if you actually kill something that's considered to be a beast. And I don't know. Oh, excuse me. I don't know which things are classified as beasts. I know that the huge rune bears are. No, those are classified as beasts. But I don't think that wolves are. So I don't think you can get beast blood just from killing a wolf, as far as I know. But I do think, you definitely can, those huge lions, or whatever they are. I think that's what they are, right? I think the lions are considered to be beasts, so you can get beast blood from them. So it must be mostly the really, really large animal type enemies that'll actually drop it. So there's this whole section of forest up here. I know that this leads into another area with wolf friends inside of it. Here's one. Here's our first friend right here. How's it going? So look at I can kill them in 4, which isn't too bad for the larger wolves. Oh, there's a bunch of big ones here. I don't know if these are called something different. If like the regular wolves are just wolves and these are also just wolves, there's got to be a different name for these bigger ones, I would think. But I don't know what it is. All right, so this stuff back here, I've checked through all the land here, but then what I did want to check, yeah, I knew that there were still some crafting materials sitting along the edges here. It's never gonna get past me though. Ooh, there's a decent amount of items down there. Oh, and hello to the squirrels. Or no, actually I think those are jackrabbits, aren't they? Those aren't squirrels. Hello to the jackrabbits. Hanging out in the environment, giving me thin beast bones. Don't mind if I do. And then, so that right there, that's that tower that I was talking about that leads. So you go through this whole thing and you wrap up to that tower. So that's something I've still got to do. And again, I'll do that when I go to the lower portion. So we'll wait on that for now. I wonder, I think you could probably technically jump over there from here, but I'm not going to risk that because I don't feel like dying. And I think what's probably going to be easiest here is... Ooh, I just almost walked off the edge. I hear there must be a scarab down in these woods. Oh, I think I actually see him. Yeah, he's right there on the path. I can hear him from up here. I think what's going to be easiest is I'll check everything leading up to this edge of the woods, which I just about have, but I want to kind of run back through here real fast and double check everything. And we'll consider the edge of the woods as the edge of exploration. And then I'll actually move my way into the woods themselves. So all of this is good. A lot of this is open. This kind of leads back to stuff I've been to. I think this is good. And then, yeah, and I think I pretty much... Did I check over here? I think I kind of did. Yeah, so I think we're pretty much good to sort of head into these woods. I think inside these woods, there's also a little pond or something. Like just a tiny little pond that has like a death-blighted... I think it's got a death-blighted crab in it. I remember dying to it a couple of times in my first playthrough because it does the thing where I think it like sprays... It sprays the death mechanic or like death mist. But then I think it also can inflict you with death by hitting you, maybe. So I guess let's go find him, see what he's up to. Oh, and there's a whole thing down here. Oh, is that that might be Jarville or Jarburg. Or maybe, yeah, I think that is what that is. That's where all the living jars live. They've got a little colony down there. I think that's probably one of the strangest... maybe types of enemy, or not enemies, but types of people, the strangest race maybe in this game is the living jars. I think that whole concept is kind of strange. It's also pretty morbid, the fact that they are just filled with the guts and the corpses of long lost warriors. So this takes us all... Yeah, so this will take us to the other side of these woods here. And that... I just saw that crab a second ago. I want to go fight him. See if it is, like, death or whatever that he's got on him. I feel like it is. So let's check this out. Let's see what this guy's all about. Oh! Maybe it isn't. Maybe he's magic? What does he do? I want to see him, like... Oh, so him hitting you does not inflict you with it. I want to see him, like, spit out whatever it is. Dude, you're knocking down whole trees. Okay, you are not as bad as I remember you being. Pretty easy. pretty simple. You've got the little itty-bitty crab. So what... It's got to be... I feel like it's death that he, like, breathes out of his mouth. But maybe it's not. Maybe I'm remembering incorrectly. Alright, so I've got to go... I want to go back towards the beginning of these woods, because I haven't really checked through the woods. Maybe what I could do, though, is we could always come back and finish up these woods in a little bit. Or maybe tomorrow. And first, I think I want to go and fight Tibia. I want to go take him out real fast. And I mean, I think for the most part, I feel like I've checked a lot of what's in these woods already, just doing this quick run through. But there very well could be something in here that I've missed. But let's go hang out with Tibia real fast. See what he's got to say, and then I can backtrack and finish up some of this other stuff. I feel like there's got to be, though... Is there not a grace between here? It feels like there should be a grace somewhere in here. Let me... Oh, this is just a Cerulean one, isn't it? This isn't one with an Ash of War. I was kind of thinking it was, but I think that's just for Cerulean flasks. Okay, so let's go hang out with Tibia. Take him down real fast. Ooh, and there's Death Root around here. Ooh, and a Smithing Stone 3. I like that very much. What is this? Trina's Lily. And I think it was just yesterday that I got my first Miquella's Lily. I've only been getting Trina's Lilies so far in this playthrough. The Tibia Mariners, they're just... I don't know. You could almost just have these in the environment and not even classify it as a boss. Like, it doesn't even necessarily need a boss meter, because they're just easy. If you get hit by that, sometimes it's not so easy though. So you got to be cautious. And I'm gonna kill this one, or I'm gonna try to kill this one that's on the ground. Frick! Oh shoot! I want to kill a couple of these on the ground and just get them out of the way. They've almost got him at half health, and I haven't even... If I can get out of here. Yeah, I haven't even healed yet. I am going to heal real fast, though, just for good measure. And I'm going to kill this one on the ground. I feel like it's not even that you necessarily need to kill the ones on the ground, or the ones that are, that he spawns. But sometimes it just makes your life a little easier, I feel like. But I think that most of these are not naturally spawned. I think they're pretty much all ones that he spawns, so they'll all just die when he dies. So it's kind of whatever. Oh, I didn't know that you could stagger him out of that. That's interesting. Is he gonna... Oh, I thought he was gonna leave. He's not leaving. He's just raising himself up on his boat. Alright, that's it. Yeah, and then see, they all just disappear. What you get for him, though? 4,700. That's actually not too bad. You get Deathroot and Skeletal Bandit Ashes. Sweet. Alright, so let me see real fast. So I've got 15,000. What does it take now to level? Basically 23,000. Let me use this, and then I've got 69 of the Golden Rune 1s on me. So I should totally be able to level. But there's got to be... I know there's got to be a grace around here. But it might not... It might be all the way up at this shack up here. There's no way that this whole... Is that seriously how far the graces are in this section? Or maybe there's one... Maybe there's one down this way on the shore. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. There's also all these guys here. I feel like my frames are dropping too, though. Also, just... because I want to fight this guy real fast, because I haven't fought one of these in a while. I want to see how easily I can kill one. He's definitely strong, that's for sure. Ooh, yeah, that does a lot of damage. Holy crap. That does a whole lot of damage. Oh, shoot. Dang it. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna go grab this grace, because if he kills me, that would kind of suck. Oh, there's a painting up here too. Oh yeah, because I think this is an artist shack. Yeah, so I'll fight that guy later. Let's just call him good for now. Resurrection painting. Let me see what that one shows. So that shows Raya Lucaria. Oh, and it's showing, okay, but it's showing like a graveyard that sort of looks out over Raya Lucaria. And I think, can't we get across here? Yeah, this will lead me to this whole other section if I take this like naturally formed bridge across, which is what leads to all this stuff. And then we can wrap our way around and we can basically get behind Raya Lucaria. But I don't think I'm going to do that. I kind of want to, like I said, I kind of want everything to be, I kind of want to be at the same spot with each area. So I want to make it up through, maybe to like here, the foot of this minor Erd tree, and then make it through Raya Lucaria so that we're kind of like along this horizontal line. We're kind of at the same spot all the way across. So let me use a whole bunch of runes real fast. I don't want to use all of them because I don't think I need all of them. And I'm not going to do the calculations, so let's just use some and see what that gets me to. So I need probably, let's say like 10 more. I will do 12. Should get me right around there to where I need to be. Oh no, it's not, because that's right. It's 23,000, right? Yeah, 23,000. Okay, so we'll use like 4 more, and I should be there. Should be plenty, I'm saying. Perfect. I don't really know what I want to level right now, though. So I'm still getting decent HP. My HP is still going up a decent amount when I level that. Mind, I could still stand a level. Endurance, strength, dex, intelligence, faith. I think I'm still going to do some more mind. I think that would be useful right now. Cool, so I think that's going to wrap us for today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to head back down to here, because there's still some stuff through those woods and all that. That's a new load screen for sure. I've never seen that enemy before. What the heck is that? That must be part of DLC for sure. Yeah, so there's still stuff in these woods that I haven't checked out, so I'll kind of get myself back to where we were, and then tomorrow what we'll do is we'll continue our way up through some of that stuff that I skipped over towards that grace. So thank you so much for checking out this episode. If you enjoyed it, I would highly appreciate it if you would leave a like, maybe a comment, and also hit subscribe. So thank you for checking out today's episode, and I will talk to you tomorrow.